Good morning and welcome. It's that time. Yeah, once again, the Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. I was so excited when I got in my car this morning and it said it was only in the 70s. That means fall is right around the corner. About another 6 weeks. I guess it's actually officially fall. Not here. We've got a little ways to go. Usually, right around that Halloween, right after Halloween, it's the best 6 months of weather. So we're getting closer to start bragging, but it's still a little hot during the day. But at least if you're up at about 5 in the morning, it is drop dead gorgeous out there. 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number. Legal, lawful, constitutional tender, otherwise known as wealth insurance, gold and silver. It is what we do. The website at allamericangold.com. And I was wondering, did you get woken up in the middle of the night? Did you hear it? Did you hear the sound last night while you were sleeping? No? The sound of your house and the price of your house in particular dropping like a rock. I warned you, it looks like it's started. Well, it doesn't look like it's already started. Yesterday we talked about how Bank of America said, the housing market has peaked. That can mean a couple of things. They were talking about sales and they were talking about relationship to GDP. Does it help GDP or hurt GDP? We're now on the hurt side. Unfortunately for us, the hurt is just beginning. A big drop in the Case-Shiller index as far as home price. Now, they'll still tell you, hey, it's still up. Prices still went up. It's just the pace. Not really. Prices from last month to this month dropped precipitously. We still have a positive year-over-year number. That's not going to last very long. The Federal Reserve started their meeting today, so we're going to get a rate hike tomorrow. Something unusual. Gold and silver are rallying while the meeting is going on, especially silver. Silver, $14.50 this morning. And I think we probably, not probably, I'm pretty, well, I got to say probably because I don't know, right? Unlike a lot of people out there, I'll tell you, I don't know, right? I don't know where gold and silver are going day to day, but I do know the long-term trend. But silver, we've been waiting. Well, you know what? It's probably a tie between the most undervalued precious metal out there. That and platinum are the silver and platinum, the two most undervalued metals by far. And silver now making up some ground, up 25 cents, $14.50 to the ounce. And I think there's a lot of room to run. You talk about what's been going on with supply, and of course I've been keeping you up to date. The massive amounts of silver being bought right now in the physical markets. The mint, they're back. Okay, so 2018 Silver Eagles are back. There are no back dates out there of any kind. Rolls of Silver Eagles this morning now up to 365. But I have a great deal for you in half dollars. We've run a lot of dimes, a lot of quarters, a lot of Silver Eagles. You don't get a lot of half dollars. And today we have and again, I guess it really isn't a lot. We have one bag of half dollars. They come 20 in a roll, so that's 100 rolls of half dollars. This is the pre-1965 junk silver half dollars. These are going to be your Walkers, your Franklins, and the Kennedys. They're $125 a roll. If you buy 10 or more rolls, I'll take them down to $120 a roll. at 800-951-0592. We already actually sold 3 rolls this morning, so there's 97 rolls that are left in the silver half dollars, and once again, silver crossing $14.50. Despite the Federal Reserve meeting today, we will be getting a rate hike tomorrow. I believe we'll actually be getting a rate hike the next press conference meeting, which would be December. But something really interesting is starting to happen. People are talking now about why the rate hikes are no longer going to ignite a U.S. dollar rally. And, of course, the reason for the rally is really one that is the reason behind why they're making these comments today, because the dollar didn't rally. You know, if you go back to March, the dollar was like 88. You know, the index against the basket. It's now at 94. It's been as high. It briefly touched 97 in a very small period of time. But it wasn't because, you know, and I know they went, oh, look at the economy so great and all that. It wasn't because of that. It was because of the fact that the Federal Reserve, in all of their mispricing of debt, has caused a problem with all of these emerging markets. And really, we got what I'll say is kind of a false dollar rally. And now all of these rate hikes, I believe, from here on out are actually going to have the opposite effect. So we're going to see rate hikes and dollar falling, something that we hardly ever see. Patriot Radio News Hour, 86 rolls of halves remaining at 800-951-0592. That is all the half dollars I could find this morning. 86 rolls left, 125 a roll. Buy 10 or more. I'm trying to help you. Buy 10 or more. We'll take it down to $120 at 800-951-0592. Investors are wondering whether the highly anticipated rate hikes from the Federal Reserve are going to reignite a dollar rally. Analysts now are skeptical that the fully anticipated monetary tightening will do the trick. And again, remember, we really had kind of a false dollar rally to begin with. Yes, we had a quote-unquote booming economy. Really what we had was a huge escalation of debt. Call it what you want. And I know, listen, we want to cheerlead it. I get it. But here is the reality. We did it by just borrowing it. So did we really do it at all? But now here's the problem. See, we've got to sell the debt. See, it causes problems. The rate hikes cause problems. Right? Home prices have now cratered. Right now we see the decline. How big of a decline? I don't know. Is it going to be like the last time? I hope not. How many rate hikes are we going to get? Right? Starting tomorrow. Well, it's already happened. You see the activity in the bond market. Matter of fact, again now, the 5-year note right on the precipice of breaking 3%. The 2-year note hit a new high of 2.84 and climbing. Just makes all of these things that whatever it is you finance, mortgages, cars, right, things of that nature, all get more expensive. Anything like on your credit cards, your minimum payments all rise. You know, here's the thing that really bothers me. This is going to be rate hike number 8. Do you know how much more? Now, so rate hike, that's 2 points. Okay, so the Fed's funds rate starting tomorrow is going to be, and I love this, between 2 and 2.25. What's this? call it 2. And I'm sure, because they didn't want to admit 0, so they're like, well, it's between 0 and 0.25, and they, again, all semantics. Do you know what the banks have given you? And again, remember, none of this is for you. You and I are the patsies. My uncle used to say it all the time. If you're at a card game, you don't know who the patsy is, it's you. Remember how I was telling you the red for red people? You're marching in the wrong place. All of you minimum wage workers that are striking for $15 an hour, or teachers that say they're underpaid, and all, everybody that's you're all just walking out at the wrong place. You need to go to the central bank. That's where you need to be going. They've given you, out of the kindness of their hearts, after 8 rate hikes, bank CDs have gone up 0.25%. Not 2%, 0.25. Why? Because the banks don't want to pay you anything, right? That's not what's happening here. They don't have the means to pay you a whopping 2% interest rate. Think about it. Right? You're supposed to, as these rate hikes go up, you're supposed to be able to go to your bank, put in a CD, and reap the benefits. Not this time. Because they know. This is just temporary. It's coming back down. The dollar has been weakening since mid-August. Now, remember, as I said, the dollar did touch 97. And they said that the 2 rate hikes, the one coming tomorrow, one expected in December, are already fully priced in. What will drive the dollar is becoming less clear. Global interest rates are starting to rise. Right? One of the things, our rates were rising, their rates weren't, and there was a bigger differential. And now everybody out there, all the other central banks out there, are all seeing the same problem. Right? Which is, call it inflation, stagflation, whatever word you want to use. Things are getting a lot more expensive, and nobody has any money. They said the twin budget and current account deficits is also going to play a much larger role. It's really simple, right? Take a minute and just think about things logically. I know we wanna only believe all the good things, and we don't really want to know why. We're just glad we've got them, right? I get it. Right? I'm glad my house is worth more. Well, it's worth less today. It's going to be worth less tomorrow, too. By the way, it's going to be worth less again in December. But we have to pay the bill. And it was a little different. When we had the Reagan era, right, they want you to misremember history. Right? They want you to believe the Reagan tax cuts did the trick. It didn't hurt. Now, we started running big deficits then. Right? That was when the deficit started, but the deficit was only $1 trillion then. It was much, much lower. Interest rates probably had more to do with the boom than the tax cuts. Right? Because interest rates went from almost 20% down to 6%. And even then, we still had the crash of 87. It's not like it was all candies and nuts in the 80s. And you start to think about what it is that's happening today. The deficit already started at $20 trillion. Right now we're at $21.5 trillion. Right? I mean, huge numbers. We just set a record in August for most money ever spent by our government ever. And there may have been a month during the war. I don't think so, though. I think it was the 450 some odd billion. I think it was a record. And now we have interest rates rising, not declining. So when you think about Reagan, we had tax cuts and rates falling and falling dramatically to help. And not to mention we did the Social Security trick. But let's not forget that. That was the best trick maybe of all. Right? Because they misrepresented how big the deficits were with all that Social Security trust fund money. Now we don't have any of that. Right? Where the trust fund allegedly now every month someone's going to that filing cabinet somewhere in Virginia or Maryland or D.C., wherever it is. I'm not even sure where it is. Right? And they're taking out a couple of those IOUs, which just means the deficit gets bigger, just so you know. That's what that means, because there's really no money in there, right? It's just a piece of paper. They didn't buy any security to go with it. But we're already paying out more than we take in now. So we got a tax cut. Oh, by the way, that's not permanent. Just the businesses are. Just remember that. Every one of these deals, seemingly, all as they want to do is reward their buddy. But now they keep raising rates. What do you think that does to your tax cut? And by the way, no one got $4,000. Well, the rich people did. We didn't. So when you sit there and you start thinking about why is the dollar not rallying not only do we got a rate hike this month or this week, tomorrow, we got one coming up in 12 more weeks. Matter of fact, if you want to believe the Fed, there's a couple more coming next year. By the way, that's the real reason I think the dollar's not rallying. This is Wall Street's way of telling the Federal Reserve, hey, you're getting ready to screw it up. You're getting ready to repeat history like you always do. Here's the problem with these guys. They've already screwed it up. Right? They're just a little late to the game. It's like Bank of America yesterday telling you about peak housing. Problem was they said peak housing happened a year ago. Kind of a little late, right? Kind of letting you know your house is on fire after you're already out of the house watching it burn down really doesn't do you any good. That's why you need to have wealth insurance. You got to have things put away. Today it's a great one. It's limited, I know, but the price is right. We got a nice move here in silver today. If we can get, silver is one of those things, and I talk about it all the time. Gold and silver, they're the two brothers, right? And gold's the older brother, right? Gold's the responsible brother, and silver kind of wanders, and he's a little more crazy, a little more volatile. And lately, silver he's been way out there, right? But who knows? Maybe he got a little too wild, had to spend some time in the county jail there. Well, guess what? Looks like silver's getting ready to get out. Take advantage of it. U.S. rolls of U.S. half dollars. There's 20 in a roll. So you're going to get 20 half dollars in a roll. That's $10 face value junk silver. Rolls 1 through 9 at 125. Buy 10 or more. We'll take them all the way down to $120. 800-951-0592. If you want to use your credit card, you absolutely can. Add $5 a roll. So it'll be $130, 1 through 9, 10 or more, $125. If you want to put it on your credit card, and of course we take them all, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. Having said that, what else do we want to talk about? Oh, This is here's a list of products from Walmart that they say are going to be the most impacted with the tariffs that just came into effect. Oh, by the way, I don't know. You know what? That brings up another. Did you see what the Chinese did today? They started running ads. Well, I don't know if they're ads in the papers in Iowa. Kind of telling farmers, hey, listen, guys, this is what's going to happen to you. We're not buying any soybeans from you anymore. And, oh, by the way, we're not going to buy any of your Iowa pork either. Very interesting tactic there by China, now running newspaper ads in, I guess, what I would call the farm states, attacking the president and kind of saying, hey, listen, we want to buy your stuff. This guy just won't let us. Here's the list from Walmart. The first one was very specific. Mandarin oranges in a can. Now, here's what makes this funny. This actually is a big one for me because my wife, she makes this, I don't even know what to call it, like a fruit salad thing, and she's like addicted to it. And there's mandarin oranges in a can and pineapple in a can that are in this little thing of hers. That was number one. I'm going to give you the other 25 when we return.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily broadcast from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, and we're upholding the legacy of Phyllis Schlafly, grassroots activist, author of 27 books, and articulate voice for traditional values for more than 70 years. Now, here's the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
People pushing for an Article 5 constitutional convention, also known as a CONCON, want to open up our Constitution to all kinds of bad changes. For many supporters, the obvious risk does not faze them. When you talk about how Congress would control the convention, how judges would have their hands in the outcome, or how the whole thing could be controlled by special interest groups, they'll often admit that all those things could be true. Yet they continue to push for this silver bullet solution simply because they see no other way to tackle the corruption of the federal government. That's the same line CONCON hucksters have been pushing for years. From the time Ronald Reagan was president on, they were saying that America has no other hope but a CONCON. They say that anyone who points out the risks of a CONCON are just paralyzed by fear. Neither one of these claims are true. The prospect of losing our beloved founding document is not an irrational fear. Many constitutional scholars have affirmed that it is a very real possibility. No amount of schoolyard taunts about people being too chicken to go along with a CONCON will change the facts. However, the real problem with the broken record of CONCON is when they try to tell conservatives that grassroots activism is meaningless. They say that nothing but a CONCON will make things better for America. They say that getting the right people in office and pushing good legislation is a complete waste of time. That kind of talk is more dangerous than anything a liberal could even say. The truth is, the tireless efforts of American patriots does matter. Getting the right people in office does matter. If you look back at the last year and a half of President Donald Trump, you see that strong leadership from a true conservative who believes in the American people can make a big, big difference. Don't give up the fight or opt for some silver bullet constitutional convention that seems good on paper. True grassroots conservatism and the work of we the people is the only real way to make America great again.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. As President Trump fulfills his campaign promises, his accomplishments on trade, immigration, the economy, and protecting the unborn should be celebrated, not ignored or diminished. To track these victories, go to phyllisschlafly.com and find out what's next for the Trump presidency at phyllisschlafly.com. Thanks for listening to the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
Welcome back, 800-951-0592. Here's the list from Walmart of all the things that are going to start costing you and us a lot more. The first one was I have a trouble with specific, thank you. Yes, so saying that word, I don't know why. It just does not work for me. The mandarin oranges in a can, which I don't know how many people use mandarin oranges in a can except my wife, and but all the rest of them just get bigger. Rawhide for pets. So great. Yeah, I got 2 dogs now instead of 1. Hair care. It's the third item. And I'm like, well, what kind of hair care? And Walmart was like, yeah, all of it. Apparently, all that stuff, somehow, some of it or most of it or all of it is made in China. Other bath prep. What are we talking about here? Are we talking about bubble bath? Or are we talking about loofahs? I mean, sponges? What? Washcloths? I don't know. What are other bath oils? I'm trying to think of all the stuff my wife has. I don't know. Other bath prep. Dog leashes and dog collars. Apparently, and it's kind of weird because I don't think the Chinese have the best record when it comes to pets and what they do to pets. But apparently they make all the pet stuff. Dog leashes and dog collars, cat leashes. Oh, and this one because it's Halloween, pet costumes. So if you want to get your pet costume, buy them now. Luggage. Then they go, well, first, actually, they broke it up in 2 parts. Number 1 is hard luggage. I don't know what that means, other than the only thing I can think of, a suitcase that's really hard. Then number 8 is luggage, not hard luggage, just luggage. Tote bags, duffel bags, handbags. If it's a bag, it's all going to cost more. Number 9, travel bags, handbags, purses. Number 10, handbags. See, it's weird. Backpacks, right? So all your kids' backpacks. Rolled wrapping paper. So I don't know. I guess this Christmas, wrapping those gifts is going to cost more. Gas grills, which I thought was an odd one. Makeup mirrors. Yeah, makeup mirrors. Vacuum cleaners. Again, this is a list from Walmart of all the things that are going to be costing you a lot more. Toothbrush replacement heads. Electric razors. I don't even want to talk about shaving. The cost of razor blades is ridiculous. Air conditioners. For us here in Arizona, something close to our hearts. HDMI cables, video cables, extension cords, auxiliary cords. If it's got a cord, it's going to cost more. Oil-less fryers and toaster ovens. Now, I don't know if that means if the fryers that you got to put the oil in it don't cost more, but I'm just telling you what the list says. Bicycles, futons, wooden furniture, miscellaneous furniture, and they were stuff like infant pack-and-plays, patio furniture, mattresses, Christmas lights. That was a list of items from Walmart about all the things that are going to cost more because I'm going to add a couple of things. Gold, silver, right? Silver $50 rounds or $50 dollars, not rounds, actual physical U.S. government hallmark silver $50 are all going to cost more because of it. Rolls of U.S. $50, 20 in a roll, $125, rolls 1 through 9. You buy 10 rolls or more, we take them down to $120 per roll. Crude oil, crude oil, by the way, 72 and change now. The Brent crude hit a new 4-year high. Brent crude was almost $83 earlier this morning. The president now talking at the UN. Again, something that I think most of us out there want us to be out of, right? Just stop. But he was talking in the UN and attacking Iran, he did have praise for North Korea, attacking Iran. And, of course, remember, we've got the big embargo that is supposed to start in a month. And this is really it's one of several factors driving the price of crude. The other factor is the Russians and at least the Saudis are refusing to produce more. I have a hard time. I don't know. I don't know what to believe there. I mean, at $82, $83, because they do the Brent crude, you don't think they wouldn't be making more? Why not, right? I would think they would. So I'm unsure that is really the reason, or if they're just, hey, we're making all we can make. If that's the case, we could see oil get a lot more expensive at a time when everything else is going to be expensive. Not great timing. And I think this is kind of why you're starting to see a lot of the analysts, if you will, on Wall Street kind of saying, hey, the dollar rise is over. Right? Even though the Federal Reserve is still raising rates, we've got debt issues. We've got the rest of the world now, right? The ECB the other day saying, hey, inflation is here. Home prices falling, which I think actually is a big problem. How big of a headwind is the housing price going to be? And you know what? I don't know the answer to that. I don't think we're going to see anywhere close to 3% GDP next year. There you go. I just don't. I think we've got all of these things that we are hoping for. People were hoping for this quick end of the trade war, and we were going to win, and China was just going to give up and say they were sorry. And, of course, I was like, they're not. And now that it's here, people are starting to worry that the president's going to keep going on. And I think he is, which I think is great. But at the same time, you'll know when Wall Street really starts falling of what was really going to be happening when this trade war really starts. It hadn't even started yet. It's just getting going. 800-951-0592 is our toll-free number. Place your orders. Get them done. Our metals program, we made great progress yesterday. We are going to have 95% of it done before the end of the day today. When we get back, we're going to talk about one of the greatest drivers of the gig economy and how well it's really working. 800-951-0592, the silver purge, if you will, right? The purging of any supply continuing. It's 64 rolls of $half left. This is it. This was a time, and I'm not kidding. A month ago, 6 weeks ago, I could have sold 300, 400, 500 rolls of silver $half and not even thought twice about it. It's all they have. This is the largest bullion dealer in the entire West Coast. This is it. That's all he's got. Take the time, put it away. We're starting now to see silver. Now, think about silver. Silver 6 weeks ago was what? Closing in on $13.50. It's now $14.50. Getting ready to go to $15, $15.50, $16, $16.50. I mean, silver's not $1 undervalued. It's not $2 undervalued. It's not $3 undervalued. Now all of a sudden, people are talking about rate hikes are not going to. Matter of fact, the dollar's down today. That's just a great example. We've got a rate hike coming tomorrow and the dollar down today, and people are now saying, hey, listen, get ready for that to continue. All of it's priced in. Sure it is. They've already know what's coming. They know. Fed's not going to imagine, oh, yeah, we stopped right at the perfect time when we started. No. This was a debt problem that we continue to have, and now here's the bigger problem. We've got to sell it. And nobody's coming. Maybe the worst 2-year auction we've seen yet happened yesterday. Now, they're wanting to say, well, we got the rate hike thing, so it was bad, and it was really bad, but we're hoping it will get better. There's only one way it gets better. We start paying a lot more for them to loan us the money, which is not good for us. 800-951-0592. One of the biggest, and I don't go, a week doesn't go by, I don't talk about these guys. Drivers for the online platforms, Uber and Lyft, are making half of what they did 4 years ago. Now, remember, 4 years ago was still new. They said more and more people being drawn in to work for them. And, of course, what does that mean? Less and less going, less and less work available for everybody to get rides. And then it's kind of a double whammy. Not only is there more people doing it, but the amount that Uber and Lyft are paying has gone down dramatically as well. According to a new report from J.P. Morgan. Interesting. Kind of calling a top to the market. And now they're saying, hey, the big gig economy may not be so great after all. Said based on payments directed to 2.3 million families. So J.P. Morgan handling 2.3 million Uber and Lyft payments. Right? You think about each big bank probably has the same, right? B of A's got that many, Citi's got that many, the Wells Fargo, all of those. Say that the average monthly platform earnings has dropped considerably. From 2013 to 2017, the average payment is down 53%. They said drivers made about $783 a month in 2017. Now, here's the funny thing. We don't even know how many hours that was, right? Versus $1,469 in 2013. Wow. That's a huge difference. Said the report that it only took into account the monthly earnings as opposed to the hourly earnings, right, because you can't do it. But here's what J.P. Morgan said. Not only are there more and more people trying to, supplement their income, they said that according to the math that they could do, they said taking into account the fees as well as other expenses incurred, Uber drivers typically end up earning just $9.21. And I don't mean to laugh, because you got to do it, right? We need the money. But now we're looking at $9, about $9 an hour after expenses is what they're making. And they said one of the biggest declines, they said, in the pay, besides more and more people wanting to try to supplement their income, is the mileage that is being paid by Uber and Lyft themselves. And they've slashed it, I guess. And I don't know, but I was reading in the comment section, and all these people were commenting how they used to pay $1.70 a mile, and now they're saying they're getting paid less. Some are saying they're getting paid as little as 66 cents a mile. So when you factor in all the maintenance and all that, this gig economy not cracked up for what it really is, right? So you're talking about, hey, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you can make $1,500 a month. Now you're lucky if you can make $7. 800-951-0592. I don't know what's more scary about that number. How many people need to do it? Or how little you make actually doing it? Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. We just sold another 9 rolls of $50 on the break, so help me do the math here. 50-some-odd rolls left, 1 through 9 at $125. 10 rolls or more at $120. These are the pre-1965 silver half dollars. Now, there's 7.15 ounces of silver in every one of those rolls. If you took a blowtorch to it, that puts your cost down. If you bought 10 rolls, that brings your cost down to $16.78. And now with all of that silver disappearing, you can't buy it for less. And especially this government hallmark. So you're going to get your Walkers, your Franklins, your Kennedys, all in rolls of 20 in a roll, 125, 1 through 9, 10 or more at $120. That puts them, buy 10 or more, that puts them at the same price that we're selling the quarters and the dime rolls. And you never buy $50 for the same price as quarters or dimes. 800-951-0592. You can put them on a credit card, add $5 a roll if you want to use them. We take Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. I'm going to jump here, get a quick look, and see where the markets are at. Gold and silver both higher. Gold's up about $1.50, $12.01. Silver's up almost 20 cents, $14 right now, $14.49 on silver. The Dow mixed. Well, all of them right near even. The Dow's up 13 points. The Nasdaq's not even up a point. The S&P's not up a point. The Nasdaq is up 10 points. The biggest news, we're watching another rally here in crude oil. The dollar actually falling as the Federal Reserve is meeting that. It happens once in a while, not very often, and usually when we get that, it's because they're worried. They're worried about that the Federal Reserve is going to crush the rally, and I don't think, I'm not worried about it because I know they are, because that's what they do. And the fact of the matter is it may already be crushed. Case-Shiller, in case you missed it, one of the biggest drops in housing we've seen in a long time. They'll spin it as positive, right? Hey, year over year, it's still up. And they'll say, the rate of decline has slowed or the rate of increase has slowed. What it really means is the value of your home is worth less today than it was last month, and actually now it's worth less than it was 2 months ago. And I'm going to tell you this: another rate hike doesn't make the values better. 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number. If you're looking for gold, give us a call here in Phoenix. We've got some 20s that we can swing you a deal on. We'll tell you about that if you call us 800-951-0592. Tomorrow we'll be on the air before the Fed announces. And then, of course, obviously on Thursday we'll tell you all about it. Patriot Radio News Hour. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and we'll be back tomorrow.